Oh! Saenchai, okay? Have you heard of him? Well, imagine if in The Protector, Tony and Latif did like a fusion or something. That's Saenchai. This guy has such good composure. I mean, look at him. Look how accustomed he is to his opponent's movements. It's like he can read their minds. But I'm not here to break down his fighting style, per se. I'm here to talk about one of his signature moves, his Cartwheel Kick. I'm breaking down today's video into two parts, things to keep in mind when doing the kick, and, of course, the setup. Part 1, tips on how to do a cartwheel kick. Okay, this kick, at least to me, looks like a combination of 3 different techniques. A head kick, or a high round kick, right? A cartwheel, but also what's called an L kick, or in some styles, in capoeira, it's called an abatido. I don't even know how to, I'm sorry. Obviously, you don't have to do a full traditional L kick where you switch hands with one leg while upside down, then switch it again by setting the other one down and bring up the leg, and just putting down your hand and bringing your legs up will suffice, because an actual kick would be with what the heck? So let's talk about what parts these 3 moves play into the 3 parts to this kick. The round kick obviously is the kick, you know, using your shin and instep to hit them. Boom, done. That's the round kick part. The cartwheel is the follow through. It's the swinging of your upside down body that gives the kick weight. Without weight, your kick would just be a light tap. And the L kick part is for balance. Have you ever round kicked so high that you fell? I did that a lot when I was still like an intermediate because my legs split so far apart when I was kicking high and my weight was shifted and my standing leg just whisked right to the side. Well, this is where the L kick and putting the hand down comes in. Putting the hand down is like continuing your really high kick, and since you're using your hand, you can aim your kick higher. You're only using about maybe half the cartwheel, but you can't get momentum without it. Basically, this move starts as a round kick, kind of becomes a cartwheel, and then ends as an L kick, sort of. You see, depending on your setup and situation, you might need to adjust between the 3, kind of like an equalizer. You have to use both parts. I mean, look at the lines. This is science, yo! If you put way too much cartwheel into it, it might look like this. And if you just handstand and stick out your leg, it'll just do this. Alright, part 2, combos and setups. So, just because you can do this kick doesn't mean that you can do this kick. As previously stated in my first video involving the 540 kick. I've seen horrific videos of people breaking their arms because they go into cartwheel kick and the other guy just, does this or something because they didn't set it up. Or sometimes the people just straight up miss because they're just not close enough. So if you look at Saenchai doing this kick, one of his major setups is when he catches someone's leg and then he throws a cartwheel kick, or he straight up just does it off a combo. It might look simple, but it's not really. Like I said before, when you watch Saenchai fight, he's super composed. Sometimes it looks like he's just playing. He reads the opponent's moves so well, like he's in their heads, which pretty much ends up getting in their heads. Once his opponent starts to get frustrated and wild, their movements become easier to read, and Saenchai pretty much has this in the bag. This is called programming. Human beings naturally are able to identify patterns, and that's how anyone learns anything. If you do something a lot, you get better at it because your mind and your body working together learns what works and discards what doesn't work. Well, what if you make a pattern for your opponent to follow and then you break it? That's what Saenchai has such a good grasp of. He knows what someone is going to do without them knowing that they're going to do it. And that's something you got to learn the hard way. You're also especially screwed if he catches your leg, and here's the real genius to his tactics. When Saenchai catches the kick, he does a lot of different things. Most of the time he just bumps in with his legs and trips you. Sometimes he punches you, sometimes he kicks you, but once in a while he cartwheels. But it only works because he's done one of the first 3 things prior. You think he's gonna punch, kick, or sweep, so he just sets your leg down and his hand down and then he cartwheel kicks you. Like I said, programming. So basically he's using your own lack of imagination to completely throw you in for a loop. So this kick is just really hard to block in the first place and it reaches really high. So if you combine this with all the setup and the feinting, it becomes even harder to stop. A bunch of combos and tricks you can use and try to hit someone, just don't forget to practice on a bag or slowly, and I mean slowly, on pads. Here's a few examples of combos that you can use. I'll just put these here. Well, this is it for today. Like I said before, if you like what you see, smash that like button. You can subscribe. And if a lot of you guys didn't know, I actually do teach martial arts at a martial arts studio. So a lot of the kids are super stoked that I'm part-time YouTubing now. So a little shout out to my buddy Brent. My Instagram is here. To be honest, it's mostly for fun and only slightly educational. And my film group is here. We make short films, but also fight scenes, and a lot of martial artists like that. And if y'all are into that, there we go. This is Emon Rashid from the Modern Martial Artist, wishing you guys happy training.